One of the most anticipated events of this season has been Marblocross, and today we have it as event 13 of Quack's Marble Clash Season 2. Hello everyone, I'm your host Quack behind the giant new pole they've installed there to accommodate this massive track that we're seeing here. It's similar to Marathon from last season. It's the Robodrome this time around though, as opposed to the Big Kahuna. And you can see this massive Sand Moguls section that's what makes it different from Marathon. But another thing that's different about this event compared to Marathon last season is that it's only going to be heats of 8. The Malmex will be demonstrating this track for the first time here, and you can see there's a few winding sections at the start, and then a big chaotic Sand Moguls section that will really be the deciding factor, and then a few more winding turns to round out the lap, where accelerating out of the turns is very crucial. But as I mentioned, this will be heats of 8 events, so it's going to be a bit different from the finale last time around, but of course, many teams have still sent the same marbles. The heats will just be 11 laps long, and we begin with the Checkmates, Stone Golems, Team Pixie, Snapping Turtles, Red Rockets, Flashbangs, Rose Rollers, and King Crabs, and we are off. It's the Checkmates who start off with the lead. Team Pixie not too far behind. King Crabs and Stone Golems starting in the advancement zone. Of course, winning the heats isn't that important as long as you're staying in the top 4, and I believe the Flashbangs are right now the ones on the cutoff line. The Checkmates holding on to the lead pretty well right now. The King Crabs not too far behind them, as now the Red Rockets make a bit of an overtake to get into the advancement zone. Ooh, but the Flashbangs do it right back over the split. The split is another new feature we're seeing this season that was not there on the Big Kahuna. As the King Crabs, while I was talking about someone else, got into the lead, which should help their chances of advancing. They're one of the big championship contenders right now, currently in second place. The Checkmates and Team Pixie, not quite the same, but they're doing a decent job. The Flashbangs holding on to that advancement spot over the Red Rockets, and they actually take third place and up to second place for the Flashbangs. Team Pixie now the ones in the danger zone, trying to hold on to that fourth place spot, with the Red Rockets are quickly closing in behind them. Meanwhile, teams like the Stone Golems, the Rose Rollers, not doing too well, as we're already almost halfway through this heat. Ooh, the Flashbangs, it looks like they fell off the elevator, and now they're way outside the advancement zone. That will definitely help the Red Rockets, who are now into the advancement zone. And Team Pixie make a dive bomb move to get into the second place. They almost went around, had enough speed to go around the King Crabs on the outside, but it's not quite going to work. Now the Checkmates have fallen a couple positions. They're now looking like they're a bit in danger, as now Payload of the Red Rockets, the reserve, goes around and takes third place. Payload was the marble that failed to win the championship for their team last season, and hopefully that shame not getting to them too much, as they're still doing a decent job here and getting redemption for that. Meanwhile, the Stone Golems, the home team, running out of time, as are the Snapping Turtles, who medaled in this event last season. Of course, they opted to send a different member than they did for Marathon. I suppose that wasn't this event, but either way, we're getting down to the last couple of laps. The King Crabs, Red Rockets, Team Pixie, and Checkmates, currently the 4 teams in the advancement zone, and they have a huge gap back to 5th place. The Stone Golems are in 5th, just need to make one overtake, but look at how far behind they are as they're coming down to the final sector. We're beginning the final lap now. The Rose Rollers look like they're already too late. The King Crabs hold the lead. Red Rockets, and then Team Pixie and Checkmates. Ooh, will the Team Pixie hold on for third? Yes, they will. Across the line, the King Crabs, Red Rockets, Team Pixie, and Checkmates will be moving on. And the Rose Rollers, what happened to their Captain Orchid that made them finish so far behind? That was a disastrous heat for them. But either way, the King Crabs, one of the biggest championship contenders, winning this heat. That's a good sign for Hermit. And Payload, the reserve of the Red Rockets, doing a great job as well. Now the Pollen Puffs, Loaves of Bread, Soaring Skies, Flying Saucers, Slush Rush, Ivy League, Stingrays, and City Lights. And we are off. It's the Loaves of Bread starting off with the lead. Soaring Skies right behind them, Pollen Puffs as well. And the Ivy League make a narrow overtake through the sand to get into the advancement zone. Now they're up to second place, and they're trying to fight for the lead. Of course, the Slush Rush currently almost in the advancement zone, just one position behind the City Lights, though. The biggest championship contender here, currently the point leaders, at the very back of the field, trying to get around the Flying Saucers right now, as the Soaring Skies not leading behind the Loaves of Bread, but they're holding on to second place. The Pollen Puffs have that advancement zone, but the Flying Saucers go by in the sand. Ooh, it's going back and forth between them, but they get on the split, and now the Flying Saucers are the ones in the advancement zone. I didn't even notice, but the Soaring Skies got into the lead. Now the Slush Rush are challenging for that advancement spot, and they will go by on the exit of the sand. Ooh, but the Flying Saucers get it back with a crisscross move there. And now the Loaves of Bread holding on to the lead. Loaves of Bread won Marathon last season with this same marble, and it's showing. Meanwhile, Bettina, the reserve of the Ivy League, won Sand Moguls earlier this season, so we're seeing 2 different optimizations in terms of which members they're picking. But either way, the Slush Rush are into the advancement zone for now. The Ivy League go around the Soaring Skies into second place. Ooh, but they lose it there, and now the top 5 are all very close to each other. They shuffle around as they enter the elevator, but the Loaves of Bread hold on to the lead for now. The Ivy League in second. Ooh, now they're side by side with the Soaring Skies, and ooh, it's going back and forth between everybody. But the Ivy League will settle into second place. The Loaves of Bread holding on to the lead. This has been a very chaotic heat compared to the first one. But the City Lights are still outside the advancement zone. That is bad news for them, considering they want to advance to challenge the King Crabs. They're losing another position to the Pollen Puffs now. Meanwhile, the Ivy League now have a big lead with their reserve. The Loaves of Bread holding on to that second place spot. The Soaring Skies have been dropping quite a bit in the standings, but they're still in the advancement zone for now. Now they're up to third place as they go around the Slush Rush. And now we only have one lap remaining. The Pollen Puffs are right there in fifth place, trying to go around again to the advancement zone. It'll be great for them. One of the teams in the bottom three. But now we head to the final lap. The Ivy League hold on to the lead. Loaves of Bread, Soaring Skies, Slush Rush in the advancement zone. Will the Pollen Puffs be able to catch up through here? Ooh, I don't know if it's going to be enough. They're within a few lengths, but I don't think it's going to happen. No, the Slush Rush will hold on to that fourth place spot, meaning the Ivy League, Loaves of Bread, and Soaring Skies will join them in advancement. Disastrous for the captain of the Pollen Puffs. Came so close to advancing, but as I mentioned earlier, for a team very low in the standings, that is not going to be good for them. Meanwhile, the City Light's only getting 14th in this event. That is crucial because it guarantees, I believe, that the King Crabs will be passing them in the points because they advance. That is huge for them. Meanwhile, the captains of Stone Golem getting best of the rest. But now the King Crabs, Ivy League, Red Rockets, Team Pixie, Checkmates, Loaves of Red, Soaring Skies, and Slush Rush to battle for the win. And we're off. The Red Rockets immediately get off to the lead. Loaves of Red not too far behind. The Loaves of Red want to be the kings of circuit races. And as you can see, lap 1 of 17, the final is going to be 6 laps longer than the heats were. The Ivy League now settle into the lead for now. The Red Rockets not too far behind them. Loaves of Red still in that metal zone. And of course, now there's no more advancement, so it's all just about results. The Loaves of Red holding on to second place for now. They went around the Red Rockets on the outside, and now they're making a bit of contact with the Ivy League, but the Ivy League are so fast through that sand section. They know how to navigate it perfectly, not hitting the walls, and evidently, as we saw in the first event of the season. Meanwhile, the Red Rockets, now the King Crabs jump up into third place into the metal zone, and suddenly we have a very familiar top three, not quite in the order we're used to, but the Ivy League, Red Rockets, and King Crabs lead the way into lap 5. Now the Loaves of Bread are much farther behind as Team Pixie are challenging them for that fourth place spot. Meanwhile, teams like the Soaring Skies, Checkmates, those teams, it would be huge for them if they could manage to get a medal. Meanwhile, the Slush Rush bringing up the rear as the Loaves of Bread falling several positions now. The Soaring Skies suddenly find themselves in fourth place. If they make one overtake, they could get their first medal of the season. And, of course, of their careers in the main league. Meanwhile, the Checkmates and Team Pixie going back and forth for that fifth place spot. Every position counts when there's only 8 marbles on the field. Meanwhile, the Ivy League hold on to the lead with their reserve. Now, the Red Rockets make a challenge there through the chicane, but it's just not quite going to happen. The Hermit of the King Crabs holds on to that bronze medal spot for now, and they're trying to go by in the Sand Moguls. We're seeing the Ivy League taking the far side, Red Rockets and King Crabs to the near. In the sand section, they're perhaps just experimenting, or perhaps they found a better groove that they prefer. The Soaring Skies now trying to challenge the King Crabs. They're getting close, but I'm not sure it's going to happen this lap. No, it will not. Meanwhile, several teams are closing in. Now the top 5 really are all pretty close. The Checkmates close in quite a decent amount on the Soaring Skies, but now they're starting to spread back out again as they come off of the elevator. Meanwhile, Payload, the reserve of the Red Rockets, we have 2 reserves in the top 2, and the Red Rockets are closing in just a little bit each lap on the Ivy League. At this point, the Ivy League have already led for more than half the races. We're already more than halfway done, but the Ivy League hold on to the lead for now as the Checkmates go by briefly past the King Crabs into that fourth place spot. But now the Soaring Skies, as I didn't even notice, are now into the medal zone. The Soaring Skies in position to get their first ever main league medals in Marblocross. The Ivy League, we've now got a very red, green, blue podium, but of course there's still plenty of time. But now the King Crabs jump up into fourth place over the Checkmates, and the Payload, the reserve of the Red Rockets, goes by into the lead. Now the Red Rockets in position to get their second gold medal of the season. Of course, the Ivy League want to do that exact same thing. And Bettina of the Ivy League is already having an amazing season so far with their gold medal in the first event, trying to become a 2-time gold medalist. Meanwhile, Payload redeeming themselves for missing out last season. Of course, they got 6th place. It's hard to really blame it on them. But in the meantime, the Soaring Skies, it looks like the Payload got stuck there at the exit of the sand. And now the top 3 are all very close with 2 laps to go. And they are off, only a few bases apart on the elevator. Team Pixie move up into 4th place, and the King Crabs have fallen quite a bit. But meanwhile, Bettina makes a challenge through that turn there, but it's not quite. They can't quite make it stick. And now we head into the final lap. Payload holds on to the lead for now. Bettina right behind them. They go to opposite sides in the sand, and it was a huge dive-bomb move. Bettina of the Ivy League makes a pass into the lead, and that will be the deciding factor. The Red Rockets hold on for silver, and Team Pixie made a move at the last moment to take the bronze. What an event that was. That was very chaotic. Several lead changes there, but the Ivy League, now with Bettina, a 2-time gold medalist this season, winning the Marblocross, evidently experts on the sand. And, of course, the Ivy League fans are thrilled with a result like that. Meanwhile, the Red Rockets picking up a silver is very helpful for them. They've been drifting in the standings quite a bit, and Team Pixie take the bronze. The Soaring Skies have to be absolutely devastated that they couldn't bring home a medal today. They were so close, but on that final lap, Team Pixie squeaked by with Enchanta. to take that spot. But meanwhile, the King Crabs with 6th place in this event move up into the point lead now. With only 3 events to go, it's looking like they're trying to become 2-time champions of Quack's Marble Clash. Meanwhile, the City Lights hold on to 2nd place with the Ivy League jumping up into 3rd, but the top of the standings very, very tight with only 3 events remaining as we head to the next event, which will be Elimination Race. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.